Welcome back. You're on SABC 2 tonight, and of course the SABC News Channel 404. I have two guests with me. We'll continue speaking and analysing, if you like, the pre-election results phase of this election. We're waiting for those first results to come forward. Mzwandile Mbeje, my colleague, senior political reporter here at the SABC, he's standing by on the floor. He'll be with a guest from the Economic Freedom Fighters in a moment or two. And I imagine key among some of the questions that we're going to be hearing about will be about the subject of coalition. So with me here, Professor Mcebisi Ntletiana from the University of Pretoria and Angelo Fick from the Awal Socioeconomic Research Institute. Professor Ntletiana, I think in the last conversation that Mzwandile Mbeje had with the Democratic Alliance there, National Chair James Self, or Chair of the Federal Council rather, James Self, the prospect of coalitions comes up. And once we start talking about coalitions, we almost never get away from it. Are you expecting protracted negotiations after these elections?
Possibly, and the DA has had the longest experience with coalitions. Remember, coalitions started, especially at the local government level, started in the year 2000. And so far we've had about 124, actually, coalitions throughout the country. And the largest number of them have been in the Western Cape and KZN. And the DA managed to consolidate itself through those coalitions. So it's an expert of all these parties, right? And even in 2016, they started negotiating before the elections because they could tell the signs, partly because of that experience. So we are going to have that. James Self was quite quick to say, well, we might have said unpleasant things during this election, and nonetheless, we are friends, so to speak, right? So it's a possibility because you have to form a government. It's not the best thing you would want to do because coalitions by nature are unstable. You have different temperaments, people who have never worked together. They have a lot of showmanship and all that stuff, so it's not an ideal situation.
All right, Professor Ntletiana, thank you. I'm going to ask you to hold that thought. Let's go back to Mzwandile Mbeje on the floor now. Mzwandile, you have a guest from the Economic Freedom Fighters this evening.
Oh yes, Stephen, indeed, we are continuing here on the floor. There are many parties, and of course I've just spoken to the DA, and I see the leader of the DA is shaking hands with the leader of the IFP. Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
I see you trying to run away from me.
Never. Why would I want to do that? Or you want to give me reasons to run away from you?
Yeah. No, basically I just want to know, here you are, you seem very confident. So do you think the EFF will do wonders?
Yeah, we are. We've already done wonders. I don't think I know. We're the only political party who was on the ballot in 2014 and again now in 2019 who we know is going to increase votes. And that's a fact. So victory is certain right over there.
So where are you putting yourself? And
all those questions about predictions, we'll wait until the results come. But we do know we're going to increase our votes, and that in itself is a victory for the EFF.
I was speaking to the DA, and then we were speaking about the issue of coalitions. And they are basically saying, so in the event they manage to bring the ANC below 50%, so they are very open to working with you as the EFF.
Oh, good luck to them. Look, we haven't entertained any coalition talks yet. Come and speak to us. And I think the media is also getting ahead of themselves. Let us get the results. Let us go back to the drawing board as political parties, speak to our leadership, speak to our collective, and then we'll make decisions from there on how we're going to move forward. But right now, it's just too soon to talk about coalitions.
Are you nervous?
No, not at all. We're not nervous at all. We put in the work. What we are very, very concerned about is what has been happening in terms of how the IEC has rolled out election day, the fact that people have been able to remove, Lisa was just saying how she removed her, the marker with the baby wipe. Yeah. And people are going multiple times to vote, voting stations not opening, people being turned away from voting. And that's their constitutional right. It's a human rights issue. So those are things that we are extremely, extremely concerned about. And not because in 2014 and 2016 the EFF had taken decisions that we're not going to object, because, we did the math and we said, like, in the bigger scheme of things, is this whole thing worth it? But we will consolidate all the reports. As you know, that we've got footprint across the entire country. So right now our op center at Gertrude is consolidating all the reports from our party agents, and then we'll make an informed decision on how we're going to handle this matter. I mean, we're even disturbed that they have the army on standby. Like, why? Why is electricity going out when these are all issues we raised to the lead up to the elections?
Oh, thank you very much, Lee. So we hope we'll be speaking to you very soon.
Yeah, as the victory political party, yeah.
Okay. Of course, you can see, and there are many other people here who are ready to speak to us. This is the NFP, the National Freedom Party. So you are here. You did very well in 2014, not so much in 2016. So what are your prospects?
Yeah, assuming that we are coming from a very bad era of 2016, we are positioning ourselves that we'll use this opportunity as a payback time. So our wish is to double the number that we've got in 2014, and then we are also preparing for the 2021 where we'll be doing very well. And then we also think that we'll try to increase the numbers with the limited budget that we were operating. It was very bad since we lost the councillors. But we have a hope that we'll come back again. So this is a payback time.
Thank you very much. Of course, we are continuing with the coverage, so we'll still be speaking to you and we'll still be checking what is happening with other parties as we head back to studio.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much indeed, Mzwandile Mbeja, senior political reporter here at the SABC, keeping you up to date with what's happening on the floor. There were my guests, Angelo Fick and Professor Mkhabisi Ntletiana. Okay.